Hello and good evening. 6:30 yet again. It's a Friday and just the first Friday in August, August the 2nd. And where has that week gone to? Time just flies by. Well, they always say it flies by when you're enjoying yourself. And when we've got a group of ladies or a community such as this, no wonder time flies. So I wonder who is going to tune in tonight. You can see what I've got made on the back wall. I was going to say on the blinds there. I found it's quite a good place to hang things these days. So evening, Dorothy. Lovely to see you. We've had another warm day. I thought actually today was going to cool down. Hello, Cheetah. Good evening, and Jack. Didn't have thunderstorms. Hi, Jill. But it's been warm. It started off very, very nicely. Cooler, it had rain overnight, and now we have just heat. Good evening, Alison. And, well, today, what have I done? I've had the boys. Hello, Pat. Hello, Sandra. Hello, Patricia. Yeah, lots of you coming. And Leslie. Hello, Leslie. You're looking forward to the demo tonight. It's so easy. I think you'll love it. Hello, Maria. Hello, Jill. Hi, John. You'll have to stop watching, John, because I don't think I'm that interesting or what I have to say, but you never know. When Jill says to you she really needs something, you'll know by what I say that she's justified in saying that. Is that all right, Jill? You paid me enough to say that. Hello, Sarah. Oh, the rain's just started with you. Well, we've got quite clear, a little bit of cloud, but nice blue skies. So don't think we've got rain today. You expected rain, Jack? Ah, well, perhaps we will. Hi, Jane. No sewing in 2.5 weeks. Oh, no. Oh, it's on a Saturday. Oh, my goodness, things are looking up. Oh, well, I hope you get sorted out. Hello, Christine. Hello, Marilyn. Hello, Catherine. And Pat, hello. And Patricia on the Isle of Wight, that lovely place. Hi, Sue. Oh, goodness, they're coming up quickly. Hello, Beverly. Hello, Caroline. Say you've all been seeing these names. I thought I've seen all these pictures of things you've been doing. You are just going wild, aren't you, with your sewing? And as I've said before, absolutely stunning makes every single time. So well done, all of you. Hello, Bev. Hello, Carol. Oh, I see. Now, can't remember what you said, Sarah. Whatever it was, I did reply, did I? Oh, you replied. I haven't replied. I will have a look. I don't know if I've looked at Messenger today. Hello, Shirley. I will reply. When I sit down and have my dinner, that's when I usually have a look and get round to doing all of that. Good evening, Chris. Looks like rain with you. Been a hard week. Yes, I'm not surprised. Yes, I was forgetting you were there. Oh, horrendous. Absolutely horrific. I don't know why this keeps happening anywhere in the country. So sad. My heart goes out to all of them. Just awful. So, and it won't just go away, Chris, will it? No. Thank goodness for sewing and sewing friends. Absolutely. Good evening, Karen. I saw you put that, Caroline. Oh, you replied. Oh, sorry, Sarah. Yeah. It came up in the spool and I read what I see there. So, okay. What was that just before there? Yes, I know you'd put that, Caroline. That machine embroidery that we did on Tuesday, I think it's got a lot of you either just about to start it or having actually done it when you hadn't done it before. And it's so bright and cheery and it comes out beautifully. And as you've seen by what you've done, all of you that have made it, you're doing everything right because you haven't got any puckers. Your stitches are absolutely brilliant, fine. And as I say, I'm in other embroidery groups where I don't always comment. Sometimes if I feel I need to help out, I will. More often than not, there's other people that respond anyway. But hello, Shirley. Hello, Barbara. Yes. I'm just firming up, as they say. getting over the melting. But yes, I'm glad you all love it and you're just following the basics, because that's where things go wrong, when the basics of getting that stabiliser, whichever one it might be, in the hoop, nice and taut, not stretched, but not loosed most definitely. Let's see. Are you going to do 2 more, Caroline? Yes, why not? Hello, Sue. Hope you're well. Hello, Jane. You're so pleased. It's got everyone. Hello, everyone. So pleased Trisha's here. It's got me in from the garden. Been out there since 8 o'clock. Oh my goodness. I hope you haven't been working, Jane. Like digging. Saying that, I did a little bit of trimming back. Martin has been on about a climbing shrub, which had started climbing into the rotary washing line. And I thought, what does it matter? The washing just hangs there and dries. Doesn't need to spin around, but I did it. And my goodness, did it wear me out? Just with the arms up in the air, clipper like this. And I thought, and he also said, perhaps when you're doing that, you'll put it straight into the green bin, save me bending down. And I thought, oh, never mind, it's all done now. Good evening, Janet. A little bit cooler today. Is it? I'm feeling a little bit warm now, but as I say, I've got one of the doors closed so that I haven't got the wind coming through. See you in the morning though, Janet. Lovely. Karen's hoping to have a go at the embroidery at the weekend. Fabulous. Yes, you will love it. Hello, Paula. Good evening to you. And hello, Sharon. You've had a lovely day sewing. Oh, it's so wet outside. Oh, you made the crossbody and a bounty bag. Just like, oh, I love you too. Oh, you're so kind. I'm glad you enjoy anyway. Oh, just supervising, Jane. Well, do you know what? The boys were here today, as I said, and they've been very, very good. No bickering whatsoever. And because they lose their juice bottles, their water bottles so much, I actually bought a set of 4 just in case they hadn't got the bottles with them for going to school, etc. So I had the 2 out. One of them went home with Charlie a couple of weeks ago, never came back. So I got 2 more out, 1 spare. And one of them, they were playing a game, I think of kicking them, like they kick the football. And one has gone under Studio 2. So I said, I'll get the broom out. You can lay it on the grass and put the broom under there and drag it out. Well, I got down on the grass. Well, I did get up, but it wasn't the easiest thing to do. I couldn't even see the thing, but they went round the back of it as well. But of course, that's quite near the fence, and they hadn't got the gist of putting the broom horizontally and to go under, so like sweep it under the shed. I think they felt that they were just going to put it upright and under, and it wouldn't go. And I wasn't going behind the shed. So that's where it still is. I'll have to wait till Daddy comes round and he can get on his hands and knees and do it, I'm sure. Hello, Yvonne. Hello, Judith. Hello, Marilyn. Beautifully hot and sunny with you, North Lincolnshire. You didn't see Tuesday's embroidery. Where will I find, please? You will find it in the Sew with Trisha group, which you are in. That's where I did it, and it started at 6 o'clock, and it went for about an hour and a half because I stitched out. I started right from scratch just to show you how to get everything just right. Sandra says beautiful in the Medway, but it did pour. Rained here last night. I don't know about pouring. I could hear it, but it was quite gentle, and it was wet on the ground this morning, but obviously that soon disappeared. Oh, fantastic, Isabel. I haven't got a magnetic hoop, and I'm thinking about it. The one I need, I've looked, is £200 or just over, and I'm just thinking £200. It'll be one of those days when I feel I haven't treated myself for a long time. Just have it. But at the minute, you'll have to tell me how you get on, Isabel. I mean, a lot of people say it's a game changer. As soon as you get one, it just makes life so, so easy. And I did watch a little video of how they put like little clips, and they don't clip over the frame, they just magnetised into the edge, and it looks so easy. I thought, oh, that looks great. One day, you let me go, no, Isabel, and I will take your word for it and buy one if necessary. Hello, Carolyn, good evening. And Elaine, just started raining with you. Yeah, can't see it coming here yet, but you never know. Give it a half an hour. Oh, Karen says, must be a day we've been trimming back overgrowth and a dumpster trip. Haven't had the dumpster trip, but we have been trimming around. Oh, and it's been humid in Hull, no air at all. Got it, well, it's gone now, but we had a nice little breeze, which made it bearable. Barbara says, when my hubby points out the floor needs a wipe, I point him to the floor cleaner. It's his home as well. Exactly. Exactly. I usually have to help, whatever it is. As I told you, I had hanging baskets the other day, and I had to go and supervise. And in fact, I then did it. I got on the steps. Well, he has had his hip done, and the steps were quite high, to be fair. But he did it before, so I just thought, he'll do it again. But no, not on this occasion. Hello, Elaine. Sounds right, let us know. Yes, do. We're on about the magnetic hoop. We are. Good evening, Sue. Oh, Kirsty, I noticed you asked a question in the Sewing Street fans to say, what do you think it's best to take, cash or cards? Definitely both. Then you can set your budget in cash, and should you need to buy anything else, there's always needing to buy, you've got your card to make up for it. Or what you can do, keep a little bit of cash and keep spending on the card, and then you feel you're better off when you see that cash in your purse, don't you? Shopper bags finished to take with me, all revised up, and a magnetic clasp fitted thanks to the green machine. Fabulous. Oh, lovely man to have a chauffeur, yes. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Yes, they are. Oh, they are. Sue, Jill says they are. Sue's got a 4x4 magnetic hoop, best buy ever. Oh, there we go. I think the one I was looking at was 5x7. You know, which is just, there's many bigger than that. But that was quite a lot of money. Never mind. Hello, Heather. I'm just nattering to you all, so no problem there. Judith, could I just ask, I'm sure you did an easy snail trail block at some point. I probably did. I probably did. Did I do? Yeah, I must have done. I must have done. Have you had a look in the PDF that Lindsay kindly put up for us to see if it's there? Because I've always named the videos we do, so if I did, it's there. Or I can do one again. But yes, I can remember doing it. I did an easy, like, pineapple block. I was going to do that again because I haven't done it for ages. I'll think on that one. Sarah says, magnetic hoop is brilliant but expensive. You love mine. Very easy to put on the frame, and hoop up is perfect first time. That's what you want, don't you? I see. Yes, you told your husband. Yeah. I don't tell my husband. I just do what I like. I earn it, so yes, I've got the choice. Rain dew in Bristol. I'm sure we'll have rain dew here. I'm watching the sky. Looks okay at the minute, but as I say. So last time Jane went, you took hubby's card and had a good day. Good. I sometimes do that. Do I have the sticky tape for sale that you used to put this in? I do, Sharon. Send me an email and I will, yeah, I'll send you some. Hello, Marion. Good evening to you. Sonia's on catch up this week. Lots of videos, so little time. I know, Sonia. They will be there for you whenever. So don't worry about that. While we're on the subject, the vast majority of you had your subscriptions on the 1st of the month or today. Absolutely fine. Do you know, I haven't checked again, but there were just, if your initials, I put a little post up, didn't I? Just saying, can you check the bank has paid the monthly subscription for Sew with Trisha. And I know they mess up quite a few times, so it could be that, it could be me, but if you've got the initials AL or JN or GP or GT. That's like gin and tonic, isn't it? GT. If that's any of your initials, if you'd like to sort of get in touch and tell me, you know, if you still want to be in the group, and if it's been a hiccup with the standing order going through. And I will leave that open till the end of Monday. But if it hasn't come through by then, what I'll assume is that at this point in time, you just like to leave the group for whatever time you like. But anybody that leaves at the time, always welcome back again, because you know how lovely we are in the group. Hello Virginia, and hello Lynn. Finished making a blouse today and doesn't look good, young looking, as I forgot I was older now and a bigger size. Best stick to Trisha, mates. Yeah, I like making bags, you know, because they fit me every time. It doesn't matter if I've had a bit of cake the day before, the bag still fits. It's great. And every time I spend money on fabric, doesn't put weight on, so great. Oh, did it, Sarah? The upgrade for the Stellaire included a 10-inch magnetic frame. Fantastic. That was a really good one then. Oh, you couldn't see it, Judith. Well, perhaps I didn't then. I don't know. I'll have a look later on tonight as well. Alison's going with your friend to Festival of Quilts on Sunday. Fantastic. Do you know, and it happened the same last year. Oh, I have done Snail Trail, Jill says. I'll have a look though. I couldn't go today because I've got the boys. Yesterday it was getting everything done that I hadn't got done before. Tomorrow I've got a busy, I've got somebody coming around for fabric. I have got a barbecue at the care home to go to early afternoon, and then a barbecue to go next door to late afternoon into the evening. So my day is absolutely full, which means that Sunday is to get the subscription boxes out and all the quilt kits for the beach house fabrics, so that the last ones will go on Monday. So I'm just hoping that it's nice and cool as well. I've had the boys 3 days this week, which means I haven't been able to do as much, but it's been hot. And I tell you, it is not nice doing what I do in heat, as we all know. So, good afternoon. Oh, good afternoon. Good evening, Angela. Hello to you. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Have you got any clear vinyl, Trisha? I have indeed. I've got clear vinyl, completely clear, and glitter vinyl. See which one you want. It's on the website. I'm sure both of them are on the website, but you can pop it on an email if you would like to do that. And thinking about it, Gita, and anybody else who put the name down for the mini Aliso iron, they still haven't come through yet. But you haven't paid any money, so I'm waiting till they land on my doorstep, and then I'll let you know. I think there are about 10 of you that wanted, but they haven't come through yet. I'm still waiting. Hello, Sue. Hello, Patsy. Oh, I bet you've got a nice glass of cold wine there, Patsy. Oh, yes, you're glad you don't have to answer to anybody, Catherine. You spend and do what you like. Got rid of the other half 40 years ago. And you brought up your children completely on your own, and you've never looked back. Well done, you, Catherine. You can do it when you really want to, can't you? Oh, Patricia went yesterday. Oh, June's sending me a message in something else in Messenger. Why aren't you here, June? You had a fab time. Quilts were amazing. The best in the show. Just took my breath away. Patricia, was it? I've seen some pictures, and the one that comes up most is the rear of lots of animals. So there was an elephant. Was it the rear, or was it? Or was it the front? I don't know, but it was animals. There were a giraffe, rhino or hippopotamus, elephant, and some others. And it was all, or was that the quilted one? That might have been for the Amara quilted. Oh my goodness. I zoomed in on it and I thought, that's amazing. Because the other thing I'll say, my cutie frame turned up on Wednesday. Still in the box because I haven't had time. or I haven't made the space to put it up, but it has come. So watch this space. You will be seeing at some point. But yes, this one was, and I thought, will I ever be able to do something like that on mine? I don't know. Oh, Sue did that too. Yes. Yeah, sometimes it's the best move you could make, isn't it? Because we're very, okay, Pat, okay. The other thing I was going to suggest as well, it came to me this morning for some reason. Quite a few of you at the moment are having problems with printing off, in the Sew with Trisha group, this is, the PDFs, if your printers run out or whatever. And I wondered whether, I might put a question in the group, I wondered whether you would like the opportunity to buy all of the PDFs printed and posted out to you. I was thinking of the same figure each month, although I would go back to May, so I'd have May, June and July's that I could do. And it varies. I think we had 10, there were 10 projects in May. I think there was 9 or 8. I think there's 8 in June and 9 in July, something like that. But I thought I would ask the question if anybody would like to have them printed out so that you've got them in hard copy. But I don't mind if you don't, but I just thought it would help some of you that have problems sometimes. Hello, Karen. You've had a good day with your 2 nephews, had a water fight. Oh, that's a good idea. We'll have to find our water guns because mine like doing that. And your parcel's in the post, Karen. I look great in every bag I make. Oh, Paula. Yeah, oh, I feel good in every bag I make. It's not tight anywhere, you know, and it flows nicely. It's really, really good. Oh, Caroline, well done. So, Judith, Snail Trail was on the 18th of August, 2022. So, practically 2 years ago. Better memory than me. Well done. You are so good. You really are. Thank you. Hello, Diane. Oh, you've got the printed list in front of you. Ah. Okay, Gita. Yeah. Oh, Sauvignon Blanc. Lovely. I don't actually drink anymore, but now you've mentioned that, I could actually. Yes, yes. There you are, June. Hello. You think you might have to go to Festival of Quilts next year? It's worth a trip. Yeah, it is worth a trip, most definitely. And I would love to see Jenny Doan. I would absolutely love to see her, but I shan't get there. Oh, you would like that, Catherine. Okay. Goodness. That is amazing price. That is amazing. Now, Sandra, if you are thinking about it, because having bought it, I've done a lot of research after the event. Most people would do the research before, but the original cutie frame has got the arms that you hold and go like this at the bottom, whereas the new one, it comes over like handlebars, if you like, easier to hold. So I would just look at that just in case. Although you can get an upgrade to get the newer frames to go with it. Oh, that's a good idea, Catherine. Yeah, absolutely brilliant idea. And then the postage is, yeah, what a good idea. I will ask the question like that. Oh, jolly good, Gita, that's lovely. Okay, okay. And yes, Jill, that is cheap, isn't it? You've not been for a couple of years, Chris, but really enjoyed it. Yeah, I've been a couple of times. I didn't go last year. I think the year before I went. Sonia only prints when you need it. As you can imagine, I've not printed lots yet. No, but absolutely fine. So, shall we get going? I have been nattering away for about almost half an hour. I see Patricia went down from, she lives in Scotland. I went to Blackpool, I drove my cousin and I to the show. Lovely, lovely. See, it's only about an hour from me, depending on if there are restrictions on speed on the M6. And I have in years gone by done it in 45 minutes, which is lovely. But I really haven't got the time this year, as much as I would love to go, but no. Anyhow, here we go. So there is a PDF for the things behind me. I have done a PDF, which is diagrams, and you will get the gist of how you put this together very easily, and you can choose which size you want. So the darker blue, which is the beach house fabric, that one is done with 1.5 inch strips. The one in the middle is done with 2-inch strips, and the red one, is done with jelly roll strips. So I went and salvaged the end of a jelly roll that I have, and I managed to get 5 red ones, which I put together there. So they are purely jelly roll strips. And so what it is made with, each of those sets of fabrics is just one strip. So the coloured parts, it's just one strip of 5 fabrics. So 5 jelly roll strips, or 5 2-inch strips for the one in the middle, or 5 1.5-inch strips for the one on the darker one, the beach house one. Just to show you the size, exactly the same technique, different measurements for what we do once we've sewn our strips together, but apart from that, the technique is exactly the same. Yeah, absolutely right, absolutely right. What I'll say about jelly rolls, this was a Moda one, and it had pinked edges. So with the pinked edges, what it did mean, and that I found with that, 5 inches went from the inner edge of the zigzag side. So you don't line up your foot with the outer point of the zigzag. You line it up with the inner point, where, so it goes out like that. So you line it up with that inside edge, so you can still just see the zigs of fabric on the outside, and that would give me my 2.5 inch. So, oh, there's Jill as well. Okay, let's give it a go. So what I'm going to do, because it's very basic, the first bit of work we do, which is sewing the strips together. So I have cut my widths of fabric, because this is what we're working with, widths of fabric. I have cut it into half a width. So in actual fact, you could make it with fat quarters if you wanted to, or your long quarters will be perfect anyway. But if you've got a fat quarter, you could do twice the number of strips. It is probably better, you might make more use of having the whole widths of fabric, because depending how we slice it up, there might be a little bit left over in one set and a little bit on the other, which could then make one more block if it were the whole width of the fabric, but not a problem. If you save Trisha's patterns like me, don't forget to back up on the PDFs to a USB stick. Oh yes, do you know, I think that about all the Word documents I have must do something. Right, I'm going to dip you down now so that you can see just what I am doing. Okay, so let's come down there. So I have got, so apart from the widths of fabric, you will need a background fabric. So I've just chosen some plain cream. Now what I'd say, you could do this totally scrappy. The ones I've made, I've used the same 5 colours, and I've just popped them together. But if you wanted to do lots of different coloured strips, if you wanted to have your background one, which I've got these pieces in, the measurements are all in the PDF, but if you have got lots of pale patterned ones, or, you know, just to show the difference between the fabrics you've used for the main part. And I've called it a 5-strip easy quilt, because we're making it with 5 strips. So what I have here, and I like to be a bit symmetrical. So I've got 2 cream-based fabrics. These are from Beach House as well. And I've got 2 light blue, and I've got one dark one. So I'm going to have my dark one in the middle. I'm going to have the creamier ones around the dark, and then I'll have the light blues on the edges. Can you see, like that? That's the order I am going to have. So what I tend to do, I put them down by my side in exactly the order I want. And then I'm just going to pick up these two because these are going to be at one edge. So I'll just start with these two, and I'm going to pop this right sides together. So the second strip, right sides together, just move those out of the way there, and line that top edge up. And I'm just going to stitch all the way down this edge, 1/4 inch seam. Now the seam allowance does matter, so try and get that as accurately as you can. I've got my stitch length on to 1.8, I quite often do, and I'm just holding that as I go, just making sure these edges are completely lined up. Okay, and then as I move a little bit further, quite often what I do on the edge of the table here, where I've got it lined up, I just put my finger down to hold it, and then just make sure, oh, that's not cut very well. Actually, that's a little bit, that was on the fold, but I'm sure we'll be okay. So just make sure down towards that end, and then you can watch that those, and I put my finger on there as well, just to hold them together. And just go right to the end. Okay, now at this point, I would actually press this open. I'm going to nail press it because it makes it easier when we're putting the next strip on, and especially if you're using the whole length of your width of fabric. So just press that out a little bit so it's nice and flat. Pressing would be better, but that's right. So at least I've got it open flat. So now I'm taking my middle one, which is the dark fabric. And when we talk about hues of fabric or the tone, this one is a medium, the cream is a light, and this is a dark. And in the majority of the things I make, I will always think about the depth of colour, or rather than the colour, the depth, the hue of the fabric, whether it is medium, dark, or light. So I'm just holding those together, and I just move that down there, line it up, just make sure that you can just pull the strip to the side until you can just about see that the fabric underneath is directly lined up. So we'll carry on down here. This is strip number 3, the middle strip. So we will move that down there. Now I'm thinking if you want to make a bed-size quilt, a double bed, whatever, the jelly rolls are fantastic for doing that, because that is about 20 by 30. So think how quickly you would be able to make up a full quilt. You could make a quilt in a day doing this technique most easily. So I'm just taking my 4th one now, lining that up at the top. So I've lined it up at the top because we are going to be cutting across those horizontal strips, and the least we can waste, the better. So I'm just lining that nicely like that. So although I keep stopping and starting, I'm lining it up for the length to the edge of my extension table. And let my finger go to there. Then I'll line up that next little bit. Just pop my finger to hold it together. And then cotton's very good. It doesn't really shift that much, but it can. But if you put your finger on it, it holds exactly where you want it to be. So all the way down, and just push that out, give it a little finger press. But it's so much easier with these bits because you've got the weight of the first few strips. It holds itself open nicely. So I'm taking my 5th strip now, And I'm going to line that up at the top there. And we'll pop that under the machine. And we can just hold that to there. And down we go. And I'll just stop while I just line that, realign that again as well. Like so. And you can see sewing strips is therapeutic. And if you just want to keep on sewing, why not get all your strips ready and just sit there and sew to your heart's content. You can do all the pressing at the same time and then all the cutting into segments. And there we are. It just makes everything so relaxing when you're doing that. So there I have my 5 pieces sewn together. So what I'd better do now is just get, I was going to use my my mini iron, but oops, I'm going to use the big ironing board instead. So let's just bring this in and we will pop our strip onto the ironing board. Let's see if I can just pull this over here. So if we just move this over, turn it to the other side, and I'm going to turn it that way because I did start pushing my strips in that direction. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just press down that little, no, I'm going to bring it towards me actually. All right, I will bring it towards me. So when I start to press, I put it on the other edge and then I just pull this other side out, and I only pull it so it's just pull. I don't stretch it. I don't pull it too much because I don't want to distort it, but I just make sure all of those seams are open, fully open, and I'm not ironing a pleat into them. So I'm just there. Now at this point, once we have, oh, you're choking. Oh, goodness. There we go. So having done that, I'm then going to go on the top and I'm going to go across it, backwards and forwards across, because then what this will do is, if I have got any pleats, it's opened them out. So you can see that is nicely done there. So the next thing we need to do is measure how long that is. Now it should be, whoops, I'm going to bring the cutting mat here. Let's just have a look to see. Let's pop that on there. Right, so I've got the edge that I had cut originally, and we are going to have a look to see. These should be 5.5. So let me have a measure. Oh, look at that. 5.5 is exactly what we wanted it to be. And then I'm going to cut, so I'm cutting across. The strips are going horizontally, I'm cutting vertically. So these, I'm going to cut them into 3.5-inch sections. So all I'm going to do, this ruler happens to be, it's a Creative Grids one, happens to be 3.5 inches wide. So I'm moving that across so that the horizontal lines are going with my seams. And I see they just about are. And I'm just going to take off that little bit because that's not that straight. So I'm going to cut there, and then I'm going to turn it around, line that edge up, and trim off this little bit here. Whoops, there we go. So then I'm going to move my ruler along. I'm going to do exactly the same. The idea of lining up the seams means that you've got it totally straight. So I've got 1, 2, let's see, 3, yep, they're still not bad. Okay. And same with this one. I'm covering my blade every time because I'm moving the ruler around. That's it. And cut that one. I think from a whole width, I got about 12, did I do? From 6, 8, 10? Yeah, So with a, that's okay, with a full width of fabric, I got 12, and I'm just going to get 6 here, I think, which is good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So if we keep them all in the same orientation, and I'll just take that back, all those strips back to the sewing machine. And all we need to do is cut, which I feel I have cut already, these strips, because we use 1.5 inch wide strips to make our 5 strip blocks. Let's take one. This along here, it was 5.5 inches. So our plain strips need to be 5.5 inches. As the strips we used here were 1.5, it's 1.5 inches across. So all we're going to do, and we're going to do exactly the same for each one of these blocks, and that's to put a cream strip at each side. Now, when you've put these strips together, the long strips, the widths of fabric or the half widths of fabric, they may, once you've pressed it, it may be a little bit more or a little bit less than the 5.5 that it should be. So when you are, and that may be because you haven't pressed the seams open enough or perhaps a little bit too much, but what you need to do is make sure that the patchwork part fits this. You will cut these pieces, the borders, exactly the right size, so you make this bit fit this bit. Don't have a little bit hanging over the edge and then trim it off, because this is exactly the right size to make it fit. And what we're actually doing, we are making this whole block into a square. So, and then I'll show you what we do once we have a square. So if we line up that top edge, now this is the same as I do all the time, just line that up perfectly and pop that under the foot, and it needs to match right down here. So if it doesn't quite, all you need to do is make it match, and then just hold that and allow that to stitch absolutely perfectly, lining up those raw edges all the way down like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to chain piece. So I'm going to take my next one, which is here, and I'm going to put my next strip, so I haven't cut my thread. I'm lining that at that top corner, and I'm just going to put that straight under. Now you can see this is a little bit longer here, so all I'm going to do, I am going to match that bottom corner, and what will happen, I'm going to match those raw edges there. I'm just going to allow that to stitch, and any of that extra little bit of fabric has moved itself within the whole of that length, and make it fit perfectly. So it's these border strips which are what we're working. So this one matches the bottom exactly. I put my finger on there, and then I just allow that fabric to just go under and all the way to the bottom. And then the same here, just line that. It's best to line the top edge up first, and then you can manipulate the bottom. So that's there. So that is just minimally, but I'm lining that up exactly. Just pull it so this bit's straight, so your edge, your border is straight, and just allow the patchwork part to fall into place underneath the strip. So there's another one. So we've only got 6 here, but you could keep going on and on to make as many as you like. Now this time the border strip is just slightly, it's only about 1/16 of an inch, slightly longer than the patchwork. So again, by lining that bottom edge with my strip, putting my finger on there, and just pull that taut, my border, and then that's all still, that is going to fit there perfectly. And then we'll take the last one to just see if that fits, and that's it, just line that up perfectly there. So when you have actually stitched your 5 widths together, if all of it measures more than 5.5, say it measures 6, or say it only measures 5.25, then make sure that you cut your border strips here at 5 1/4. So it depends what your 5 strips actually measure from edge to edge as to what length you're going to put your border strips. Because as I say, we are going to make this into a square. So having got them all stitched together, I'm just going down the other side now. So let's just line that one up right at the top and straight down here. So again, just pull that there and it fits. So just keep your finger on there or put a pin, but I just find it just as easy to put my finger to hold it, to put my finger down there to keep that. And it's when I've got the first few stitches in, I know that it's anchored at that top end. And then we can just work on that next one. And then just bring, I've got the rest just sitting here to my side, and I'm just bringing them in as I come to stitch. So let's just line that up as well. Put that under, line that up, that bottom edge. And I'm always looking that the raw edges down here are all lined up. And 3 more to go. As I say, this if you just wanted to put 2 rows of these together and make a table runner or a bed runner, or you just crack on and keep stitching as many as you can, depending on what you're going to make. So these, once they're finished, will turn out to be a 5-inch block. So if you were 5-inch block, you would want 12 across if you were doing it 60 inches. And if it was a 60-inch square, you would need 12 rows of those. So you would need 144 blocks. But as I said, we do get 12. We get 12 of these blocks from 5 strips of fabric, 5 widths of fabric. So it does go a fair way, even though we've got a lot of seams, which seams take up fabric. But if you get 12 of these, it means you need 12 sets of 5 strips, so 60 strips. And actually, you would get that easily out of a jelly roll. So I'm just looking for my, there they are. Just get my little scissors. I've got 1 pair of these snips left if anybody wants them. They were £18, thinking about it. I saw them in my on my shelf there from when I had them in previously. Handy little snips. So there I have them all. So all I'm going to do now is take or bring my ironing board back in, take those over to here, and the easiest way I find for pressing these is I take my iron, let's move that out of the way and that back there a bit. I take my iron over all of it, then I open up the far one, press it open, keep it on there but bring it back. So I've got the side of my iron stitching that, and there that is nicely pressed. So I've got my horizontal, my border strips horizontally, over all of it, whip it over one side and back across the other. So I've got the whole edge of the iron that is pressing that. And I have actually got steam on. Sometimes the steam doesn't work, but today it's working. So there's another one. And so down the same direction as the borders, across the side and across the side. When I watch Jenny Doan, she doesn't even set her seams sometimes, and so sometimes I don't. But I just find with this, even with the bigger blocks, as I say, well, that's gone the wrong way, but straight over there, over to the side and press, back across and press. And there's all my 6 beautifully pressed, just like that. Now, what we're going to do with these, we're actually going to, when we put them together, I'll lay them out how we're going to do it. We're going to rotate them. So I've got them all here by 90 degrees. So these horizontal ones are coming down vertically. These, well, no, they're horizontally. These ones I'm going to turn in the other direction so that they go vertically. And then the next one, I'm going to go horizontally. And the next one, I shall go vertically. Let's see, right. And then similarly the whole way along. Or I can, if I put that there, I'll do 2 lots of 3. So where we've got a horizontal, I'm going to have a vertical underneath it, like that. And then where I have the vertical, I'm going to have the horizontal. And where I've got the horizontal, I'm going to have the vertical. So they're going to sit together like that. And I might just, yeah, I'm going to put them together just like that, so that I could make this into just a table centre. It's about 5, 10, 15 by 10. It could be a nice dinner setting. You could place them all the same way if you wanted to, but this way we've got very few seams that we need to match. Just this one here and this one here when we put that row together with that row. So let me just move that over, and I'll take this one first of all and pop right sides together, and take that back to the machine there. And I'm just going to align these, and they should match. They should be exactly matching, but do exactly the same as I did before. Just make sure these are lined up. So just pull that back so that those raw edges, make sure the seams, or as far as you can, those seams are not flicked up by the foot, pushing it the other way. Open that up and take our next one. And this one's going to go right sides together, and just line that up there. As I say, it should line up at the bottom. If it doesn't, you just give it a little tug. So just like we did before, do those first few stitches there, and then make sure this border lines up there. So that just needed pulling in a little bit. And then down here, line up this bottom edge, pull that, because I can see that didn't line up the raw edges there, and all the way down. So there is our first, that is our top row there, all stitched together. So I'll pop that out of the way, and then we'll work on the bottom row. So right sides together, let's line this up here. So that's our top edge. Get our first couple of stitches in there, and then see that this lines up down here. So line that bottom corner, then just make sure that these raw edges are lining up there. And I'll just keep my finger on there just to keep that, because these little bits matter. They will add up. If every time you stitch something together, it's the smallest bit, so 1/16 of an inch out. If you do that across 8 blocks, you've got 1/2 inch of discrepancy there, which is harder to hide than making that 1/16 of an inch line up before you even stitch it. So we've got those lining up there. Okay, so I've got my 1 and I've got my 2. Now I'm just going to finger press, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to make these seams, just these ones we've stitched, go away from me. So I'm going to pull that there, and then this one here, so you can see both of those seams there go to my right. So these top ones here, I want them to go to the left. So that one goes to the left at the minute, and I'm just going to make sure this one, so I'm just going to fold that way and just give that a little finger press there, and just lay them together. So we've got them there. I'm going to put right sides together, and the most important thing I'm going to do is match these seams here. So I have got one going one way and one going the opposite way. So on this occasion, I'm having a bit of a love-hate relationship with pins, because I keep pricking myself. So I am putting a pin there, and I will put a pin here as well. So that one is going that way and that way. So I'm going to line that, I'm going to nest that seam there, and just make sure they go really nicely together, and we'll put a pin there as well. So I have got the most important points here with a pin in, and then we'll go to the end like we do and align that perfectly at that edge and start stitching. So I'm going to grab where that pin is, because I want to make sure, as I say, that these raw edges here, I'm pulling them back so that they line up all the way, and I want it to be perfectly into that point. So as soon as I get near the pin, now I always take my pins out. I saw a picture today where somebody had stitched over a pin and it had broken her feed dog mechanism. And you know that I say that many a time, you know, that at least, or the least that can happen is will break your needle. But it could be even worse than break another part of the mechanism. And this lady had, I don't know how much it cost her to get it fixed, but it's a machine out of action just because you stitched over a pin. The other thing I also heard, somebody said that they don't usually stitch over pins, but when they're using fine pins, it's okay. Now, the problem with thinking that is, sometimes you forget it's not one of the fine pins. So if you don't stitch over pins ever, you're never going to have an accident, are you? And, you know, what is better to spend your money on, a repair or fabric? I mean, that's the thing that's got to spring to mind, that you'd much rather spend it on fabric than repairing a machine, which was an unnecessary accident. There we go. So hopefully those have lined up. That one's better than that one. That's minimally. So I'm just gonna, I won't bring the iron back in, but I will give it a little press just where, because we didn't press those seams, and just so that it just looks so much better once it is pressed. So I'm just going to give those just that little bit of pressing from the back first of all, and then, whoops, I don't need to press those in the wrong direction, and that's there, that's there. I suppose I could, let's just turn it around a bit here. So I just pressed from the back, and now I'm just going to go backwards and forwards over the top of it, which will set that really nicely. So there it is. So let's have a look. I didn't bring my phone in here to see. You don't know anywhere that repairs or services? So, oh, there must be somewhere, Catherine. I don't know off the top of my head, but David Drummond is Scotland, I think. Who else is up that way? Woodseats is Sheffield. You might have Frank Nutt. Oh, best show you, hadn't I? So, as you see, as easy as that. It's 10 by 15, so pretty good, but nice and easy. And as I say, using lots of scrappy fabrics, absolutely lovely, I think it would be. And you see by me putting that dark fabric in the centre, it really shows it off. It really gives an accent, doesn't it? It gives you, I think the other ones, oh, I put darks towards the outside. But it's a very easy block. So, as I say, just think where you're putting darker or lighter colours. And because I've got light colours around a dark, that's why it stands out a little bit more. And then, of course, my borders being plain makes it totally stand out. But it's easy. So, as I say, in the... I'll go hang it up over here so it's behind me. There is a PDF in the Sew with Trisha group. Let's put that one on the top there. Oops. Oh, that's pulling it down a little bit, but you can see on the top there. Yeah, so that's the same as the other one. Yeah, and use up your jelly roll scraps. And you could, if you wanted to, now let's see, 2, 4, 6, yeah. So with a jelly roll, even if you wanted, so if you've got, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 jelly roll strips, it's 5 is the best to do. And you cut them in half so that you can have a different combination of colours. You could do that. So like with my whole strips, rather than having all of those the same, I could have stitched 5 together half widths, and then I could use some of those with some other colours to make it different all over. I could make a lovely Christmas table. It would, wouldn't it? Yeah, we'll do that. There was something the other day with Christmas, somebody said, and I need to write it down. I need to write it down. I've never got a pen to hand. Oh, I've got 2 over there. So let's have a look. So Christmas table runner in that method. 5 strip, easy. And then if somebody reminds me what the other one, Catherine's got 2 sets, not jelly rolls, of the same fabric that are 3 inches wide, not 2.5. So that would be a great, yes. If they're 3 inches wide, you could actually split them into 2 1.5, so you've got double the quantity. That would be great. If you've ever bought a Moda scrap bag, those are usually 3 inches or a little bit more. So that would be a great way of using scrap bags. And when they do put them together, it's usually from one range of fabric, or the fabrics actually coordinate. So yeah, it will work. So we'll do that. As I say, somebody suggested something else in Christmas, unless it was the crown quilt. That would look nice. Everything would look nice in Christmas fabrics. Now, I did say that I was going to do Christmas in July, and I didn't get round to it. But this month, I will most definitely. We'll have Christmas in August, because everybody else was doing Christmas in July. So we will do something special for Christmas in August. I will get it organised when I know when I have responsibilities or not, and when I've got a few days that we can do different things around Christmas. And we'll have a sale of Christmas fabrics as well, because time's getting on, isn't it? It is. We are in August. We have got September, October, November, December. Oh, we've got 4 months or so, but some people have started already. A folded centre. Yes, I was going to do that, wasn't I? The folded centrepiece, and the mini version I did, or the smaller version. Yeah, that's lovely. And as you say, Chris, the possibilities are endless. And if you've only got pieces that are, I tell you what, the other thing with this, the one with the jelly roll, those, oh no, they're 10.5, aren't they? Yeah, no, ignore what I was going to say, because no, they're not. Unless you actually trim them down a little bit, they would actually work with a layer cake. So you could, if you wanted to, having made the large ones, the jelly roll strip, the 2.5 inch squares, if you trimmed them down to 10 inches, you could then alternate one of those blocks with a layer cake square as well. So, yeah. In Hull, we have a department store called Boys. They had a Boys in Scarborough as well. They had Christmas fabrics that I saw today, which were really rather nice. They're all really, we will be different. Yes, Sharon, we will. Okay. Yeah, if there was anything you wanted from today, send me an email. Catherine, you do have lots of layer cakes, so anything that uses them will be good, won't it? Yeah, send me an email to trisha@hotmail.com, and I will respond to those. Possibly not on a Sunday. Sometimes I do, but usually a Sunday I don't. Tomorrow's going to be a bit hit and miss because I'm out doing this and doing that, but I will get back to you where I can. I think I've about caught up on my emails now. If I haven't, no, I must have a look at, oh no, that was something else, wasn't it? That's right. I will have a check down them, but usually if I've moved them into a folder, it's because I have responded. Anyhow, have a lovely evening, a great weekend. Next Tuesday, oh, that's what I need to do as well. Oh my goodness. And next Tuesday will be the bag of the month for August. Yeah, it's my catch-up time, Catherine, actually. As opposed to, I should have time to myself, but I don't get time to myself. It's catch up on what I should have done. So next Tuesday in the Sew with Trisha group, lots of you I know watching tonight are in that group. If you do like the look of what we're doing or have been doing, by all means have a look on the website and you can join up with the wonderful community of lovely ladies. So enjoy your, oh and yes, I don't really do barbecue food either. I'm just I'm just going along with my mum because she wanted to go, and I won't say too much, but I'll have some dinner at home. Anyhow, take care of yourselves. Have a lovely, lovely weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye for now.